And you buy the tobacco and you buy the papers.
An ounce of tobacco, whatever it is, in our boxes. The thing that you know, they were cigarettes with...
The papers, yeah. The rollers.
Not papers.
The rollers.
Huh?
The wrapper.
No, I had a little machine that I put the tobacco in, I filled it up, but the cigarettes were only half full. The other half was mouthpiece, you know.
I see.
Filter.
I'll tell you, we had a life, we had.
So when you lost your parent, after your mother died...
After my mother died, I left home because I didn't want to stay with my stepmother.
How quickly did your father remarry?
6 weeks. 6 weeks after my mother died.
What did your mother die of?
My mother died January, and Papa died in June.
But he had already remarried 6 weeks.
Yeah.
What did your mother die of?
My mother died of asthma. Complications that set in with asthma. My father died of TB.
Now, did your father already know the woman that he married again before your mother died?
She used to buy meat for my father.
She was a widow or she was single?
She was a widow. She lost her husband and she was looking, and he was a religious guy, and a religious guy had to have a wife.
6 weeks?
6 weeks.
And you sit Shiva for a week?
So it's 5 weeks. We should, well...
And then after he married her, you left home?
After he got married to her, before he married her, I left home. I went to work for my brother Sam in Praise Banbury.
Where did you live?
By Sam.
You lived with Sam?
I got $5 a week and board.
Well, what did you do for him?
I did everything. I was the best worker he ever had.
15 years old.
You know, I went there. I used to get in for a shipment from the east side. He used to buy socks, whatever. I used to be the one to open up the cases because I wanted to see what it cost, what it sells for. But Dora had a brother, Johnny, worked for my brother. He was a thief. They'd call off one bundle of 14s, he'd carry out 2 bundles. You know, he was a crook.
So now how long did you stay with him in Perth Amboy?
About a year.
And then where did you go?
Then I went to Bridgeport, to Izzy.
Right.
Should rest in peace. And then from there we went to Hartford. He opened up a place. We got married already.
Right.
With Grandma. I was 19. No, I worked for Sam for about 2 years, I think. Because I was 14 years old, Mama died. 15 when I left the house. Then I went to work for Sam Baum and play fanboy. And I worked for him for a couple of years. They paid me $5 a week at board.
And where did your parents come from?
Russia.
Where?
Polyglot.
Where is that? Do you know?
No, some goddamn. I was born in this country.
Right. Well, how old were they when they came over here?
My brothers, George, came here. Listen to this. This is a good story. My father went to America to the gold Klondike, you know.
Really?
Everybody said America is
Streets are lined with gold.
lined with gold. So my father went to work for a bakery. So they had to take the flour down the cellar.
How old was he when he came here? Do you know?
For my father?
Yes.
Wasn't an old man. And naturally, he had already 5 children.
So you were the only one that was born here?
I was the only one born in this country.
Oh, okay.
And my poor father came here alone to look for gold, you know. The streets are lined with gold in America.
Right.
My mother didn't hear from him 4, 5, 6 months. Thought he died. Finally, she got a letter that he's sending her a ticket to come to America. So,
Talk to the camera.
That's okay.
All right.
So she's going to come to America, but my mother had 3 to 4 children.
Right. So how was she supposed to come with 4 children?
Well, he sent the tickets. Yeah, and they bought them on installment plan. You know, fare steerage was $50
Oh my.
a head. $50 a head. Listen.
No matter how big your head. A baby was the same price as an adult.
No, baby was free. I don't know what. So my father went to work. He went to Shylock. He loaned him some money. You know those guys then. He sent him 4 tickets. She said, my father said 5 tickets.
5 tickets.
To send it to America. Sure enough, my brother Izzy arrives with George and Samuel Baum from Fife Amboy, and my other brother Sam. They come. They deport 2 of them. They wouldn't let them in. One was 9, one was 11.
Why wouldn't they let him in?
Of course, they had a powder in the head, you know.
Lice.
Lice.
They wouldn't let him in because of lice?
No, they had diseased head,
Yes.
full of sores. If they deported them, they knew what they were doing.
Where did they deport them to?
Back to Russia.
So they got all the way here and then they go back again?
That's right.
The 2 kids alone.
Alone? To who did they go to back in Russia?
2 kids alone. They went to an aunt, an uncle, I don't know, somebody.
That's a horrible story.
It's a horrible place in Russia. Incidentally, my father had a hernia made to order for him.
What do you mean?
He had it made in order not to serve the army. You understand? He had a hernia made. How did they make it? You went into a guy, I don't know how much he charged, with a big stick. He hit you right across the belly. Tore your gut. You know,
Listen, I remember Grandpa froze his toe off so that he wouldn't have to go into the army.
my father had to go, didn't want to go in the army, so he had a hernia made to order for him.
Well, now, how did the other 2 boys get back?
Well, after they cleared up the condition in the head,
They wouldn't allow them in this country.
Yeah, that's what Grandpa just said. They sent them back to Russia.
Russia. And my mother she couldn't help it. She was glad she came to America. So she had 2 children with her and 2 to ship back.
Incredible. So they were able to come again.
So they came again. They cleared up their head. And after they cleared up their head and they got the disease out of their head, whatever the hell it was, then they came back and they admitted them.
That's an amazing story.
And my brother Sam from Point Fanboy, he was the biggest dope in the rest in peace in the world. You know why? He was peddling. My father made a peddler out of him, so they bought him a basket, you know. He used to go around and peddle. So a guy comes over, a New Yorker, and I said, hey, mister, you want to make a $50, a quarter, a dime? Take that package upstairs with me. He said, sure, I got the basket. He said, leave the basket here. Came down, the basket was gone.
And then he became one of the biggest merchants in Fife Amboy. Didn't he?
He learned.
After that,
After that, he got so smart
Samuel
that
Baum
he used
Company.
to, Samuel Baum and Sons, that he used to sell sash cord. So a woman wanted 1 roll of sash cord, you know, for the line. So he sold the 2. So while they delivered the 2, he took 2 of them in and carried 1 back out again, stole 1 out of her.
Nice guy.
He traveled steerage, you know, with the cattle, on the cattle boats.
Well, years ago, many, many years
You know how
ago,
long it
the
took?
majority of Jewish people
Couple
that
of
came
weeks.
to this
Of
country
course, they were poor.
came
Couple of weeks,
came
a month.
in steerage.
Like boat.
Now, Grandma,
Had
you,
big boats then, and they didn't have big
They
boats
didn't
then.
have big boats either. But I know my father paid for a ship's carter. They called him a ship's carter. With the ticket to come from Europe to America, $50.
But I want to know, how did those people get from Russia? Where did they sail from?
Odessa was.
Oh, from Russia, they
Came
usually
through
went to
Germany.
Vienna, and from Vienna to Germany, to
To a
one of the
seaport.
ports in Germany.
so if that's the case, and if these two guys were shipped back to Russia
Yeah.
as teenagers,
Teenagers, they were 9 and 11.
9 and 11 as children, they must have been shipped back to some German port then.
Some German port. No, they were shipped back to the town where they came from.
So they were shipped from a Russian seaport.
Probably.
From a Russian seaport.
I don't think
Leningrad, Odessa,
Yeah.
any number of them.
my parents were both born in Russia.
Where in Russia were your parents born?
My mother was born in Vilna,
That's in Latvia, isn't it?
and my father was born in Kamenets-Podolsk
Where is that?
in Russia. See, Vilna.
Vilna was Poland.
That was Rus Poland.
Is Vilna, Poland?
Yes.
My father came from
is
Vilna.
Rush, Poland.
My mother came from Svenjarin.
But my mother was born in Vilna. That was Latvia.
That's what I thought. It was Latvia.
Yes,
Right.
Latvia.
Well, she was a rich kid already, but you know, she found a butcher store and all that. My father used to,
Oh,
let me
my
tell you this,
God.
my father used to buy a chuck and plate. You know, it's a side of beef without the chuck, once a week, and he couldn't sell it. My poor mother had to make kosher every day, 25 to 20 pounds, you know. So the fellas who used to peddle rags, you know,
Yeah.
got through with the day's work, so where did they sleep? Slept in the shop. Of course, free rent, free sleep, free lodging. Of course, the shop had to have a watchman. So they took the job as long as they let them sleep there for nothing.
Those are the guys that used to go through the alleys between the houses yelling, "Old Alter."
That's right, that's right, that's right. That's it, you said. Old pants, old shoes.
Old shoes, old pants.
So then my uncles were all rag pickers. What the hell were they, rag pickers? Foolish slob, they had nothing to eat. My mother, I'll never forget this to my dying day. My father, my uncle, may rest in peace, gave my mother $5 for the week Pesach, for the whole week. So lichazek is inside. You know, I don't have to. $5 for the week. So my mother went to work, had a lot of cups. You know, years ago she had different kind of cups set in there. So she took the $5 gold piece he gave her, he paid her for the week, put it in the cup. My mother had a cleaning woman come in.
For Pesach.
For Pesach, once a week, once a year. So she come in, she got a quarter, I think, cleaning up, 30 cents or whatever that. Well, you can imagine meat was 12 cents a pound. And I delivered it in 20 blocks for a pound of meat for 12 cents that I delivered. So what was I telling you? Yeah.
The gold piece in the cup.
So the woman, the cleaning woman came in. So and my uncle came in for Pesach. He was going to pay my mother for the week. So he had a $5 gold piece. He gave it to her. Goes to work. My mother puts it in a cup. Comes to go home. The maid is going to be sent home. You know, she got me 20 cents to clean up, to wash up the floors. So my mother says she's going to take a look, see if the gold piece is there. It's gone. So right away the woman said, "Mir gonna." She couldn't talk English, Jewish.
She was the thief.
She's not a thief.
I'm no thief, I'm no thief. However, my brother Izzy came in that weekend. I'll never forget this. So my father was a smart man, you know. He said, gonna search everybody in the house. Start with my brother Izzy, you know, as a come on. So it came to the search the woman. So my mother had to go over search her. The $5 gold piece fell out of her shoe. Right away. I'll never forget, my father used to, he had a daven every day before 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, before 12 noon on the second. 12 noon, you got to be finished for the morning. So my father had to go and daven while he had the customers there. So who came in? The guy from the New York Butchers, the collector, you know. So my father, the way he used to carry his money, crumbled up, you know, took out his money and threw it down. Finally, this guy stole a $5 bill. So he caught him and he says, "Me and his gunner, and he raised hell doing it. He's not a thief."
Now, who used to kosher the animals?
Used to what?
To kosher them.
Slaughterhouse.
You didn't actually kill the animals in the butcher shop, did you?
No.
No.
Slaughterhouse.
So
That
you
was a big business then, the slaughterhouse.
The slaughterhouse would deliver.
would deliver a kosherly killed animal.
That's right.
Now, did the rabbis come and supervise the butcher shop to make sure?
No, he had a blumb on it.
Yeah.
He had a
Mark.
Stand.
not a
A
stand,
mark.
Mark, it was Mark.
a wire with a piece of lead that looked like a, remember it? It used
Yeah,
to be-
a little piece of lead at the
Yeah,
end.
that's right.
Yeah.
But did anybody supervise the butcher shop to make sure that the meat was kept in a kosher fashion in the butcher shop?
Well, if you was a kosher butcher, you kept your meat kosher. You know. The supervision was not too strict, too strong. It was good supervision.
Now, today they have butcher shops that are kosher, and then you have butcher shops that are glatt kosher.
That's right.
Okay, did you have both then, the two?
No, just had kosher and taifa.
Just kosher and treif.
That's all.
And all the kosher butchers were glatt kosher, I presume. Everything was as kosher as it could be.
Everything was when the butcher told you he was a kosher butcher, or he had on the sign kosher, kosher, he was absolutely.
See, and my father had a treifa butcher shop.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. I thought he was a kosher butcher.
My father, may he rest in peace, had a meat market, but a Gentile meat market.
Did he carry pork?
No, it wasn't supposed to be kosher.
No, but did he carry pork in his meat market?
No.
No,
He didn't carry no pork.
didn't carry pork or ham.
Right.
Didn't carry any pig meat. But it wasn't a kosher, and there was no sign on the window that it was kosher.
All the pickle merchants were on one block in Williamsburg, in Brooklyn. And I used to go for the pickles. My mother would tell me, bring so many of this, not sharp, or what, there were all kinds, sour pickles. And I used to go so often that the merchants got to know me. So you'd go along the pickle barrel and you would smell it. If it had the right smell, you knew that was the one. So you'd take one or two, whatever you wanted. Then I got smart. I'd come over there and I'd smell and I'd shake my head. So the merchant would say in Jewish, "What's the matter?" "Doesn't smell right." "Taste it." Well, I wasn't going to take a whole pickle. So he would have to take a pickle out, cut off a piece, and I would taste it. Then I would go to the next barrel, and I'd go, there were maybe 15, 20 barrels. And I would go tasting all the way along, and it was great fun. And then I'd come back and say, "Okay, give me one of these, give me one of these." Then I worked in a chicken market. Farmers used to bring the chickens in crates.
In the chicken coops.
Live crates, yeah, live chickens in the crates. They'd come with a flatbed truck to this place, and they would unload. This guy wanted 20 crates or something, and the chickens would be piled in the crates in the chicken market. Then the women would come, and they would look at the chickens, and they'd say, "We'll try that one." So the guy would take the chicken out, and the woman would